All right. So today I have a good friend here, Mr. Resh. So Resh, why don't you introduce yourself? Because I know you have a really long accolade. You've done a lot and you do a lot of different things as well. So why don't you quickly give a quick introduction about who you are, how people can find out about you, what you're doing right now.
Hey guys, what's up? My name is Resh, and I'm the director of Buffett Online School, right? So we actually teach value investing and options investing to people from all around the world. We currently operate in 7 countries around the world, right? So basically, that's my role. That's what I do. So I help impact lives and I teach a lot of people about investing in options. That's essentially the main thing of what I do, man.
Okay, so because I know you are really into looking into the financial markets, you're really into studying what's going on. In fact, right now is when we're recording this right at this particular moment, there is for those of you who are listening to this or watching this, we are going through a really difficult period in a way that the COVID-19 has hit us. Essentially, we're all in lockdown, or in Singapore, you guys call it a circuit breaker. I think it's a really fancy term for quarantine. But what are the opportunities that has arisen for you? Let's do a little bit of discussion here, because I know the financial market is getting a little bit volatile, and I think when it's volatile, that's where the money really hits. So share with us.
So, it's a very, very interesting thing. I want to share with you something. Right now in the markets, we are seeing volatility like we've never, ever, ever seen before, right? I've been investing for the last decade already, and I've never seen volatility like this. So a lot of people are very scared, right? They're very scared because they're thinking, oh shit, right? Things are going down. How? But here's the thing. Warren Buffett ever said this before. A true investor welcomes volatility. And the reason why is because when volatility appears, that's when irrational prices come around as well, where you can actually acquire great businesses at irrational prices. And that only happens when volatility is very, very high. So a true investor loves and thrives volatility. So that's something which I want to say, man. Right now is the greatest opportunity of the century. Like we've never ever seen this before. If anybody's asking me, hey Rash, is this worse than a financial crisis in '08? Dude, you must look around you. This is affecting every single country around the world, right? And we're still in unknown territory. We don't know. Hey, will the levels peak off? Will it rise back up again? There's so much uncertainty. But in uncertainty is where people really thrive, will really grow. So hey, I truly believe that the greatest wealth transfer is happening right now, right? A lot of people are losing their jobs. Unemployment numbers are through the roof, but the biggest wealth transfer is happening. I want to share with you an article which I just read, man. Let me just share with you. This article just stated that Warren Buffett is slated to become the richest man in the world again, very, very soon. And all he needed was this crisis. Something to think about, right?
Well, this crisis is not just the COVID-19, isn't it? I think most people also forget that there's 2 other things that's going on, which is the trade war with China and the US, and also the oil price, which just concluded, I think yesterday. They come to a early agreement. I think there's going to be a lot more that's going to be going on in the next few months, because I think this lockdown situation is not going to affect, and then the moment it's lifted, it's not going to just go back to normal. I think the way people work is going to change. I think the way people shop is going to be the change. The economy is going to have massive correction. So let's talk about what are the next few steps that people can actually do right now to maybe make some money, to maybe, go into a territory they might not be familiar with, but maybe they can benefit from it, such as, if they've never invested in the stock market. Is this a good time to go in right now? If yes, what should we be aware of, or what are the things that we should look at?
Okay. So right now, guys, it has never been a better time than to really, really learn about investing. Really learn about investing. Like now is the best time ever to actually learn. Like, so if you've never ever got involved in stock market, like seriously learn. And the reason why is because right now, like whatever you do, you will immediately see significant results. Why? As in you'll see results. Results meaning you can either be up or down, right? But you will immediately see results. And the reason why is because there's so much movement. Right, so it's actually a very, very exciting time, right? In terms of taking advantage of volatility through options, for example, that's something that I use as well. Oh, it is the most lucrative that I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything like this ever before, and hey, it's only available right now. So hey, if you are serious about, if you have some money stashed aside and you really want to grow that money, you really want to be looking to actually invest in yourself, to actually go and learn about investing right now. right?
So let's talk about options, because a lot of people think about the financial market. You need the mindset is that I go in cheap, I buy low and sell high. Option is completely a little bit different, because you can do option like call, you can do an option like put. So why don't you talk a little bit about what option is and how people can take advantage of it?
Okay, so what exactly is options? So options is very simply it's like a contract. So let me give you an example, right? So an option is an agreement between two parties. It's a piece of paper essentially, right? And they're buyers and sellers. An option is an agreement, just like a insurance contract, right? So what do insurance companies sell? Insurance companies typically they just sell options. They sell you an agreement, right? It's an agreement between them and it's an agreement between you, right? They're selling you a promise that hey, if anything does happen to you, we'll pay you out some money. But in exchange you pay them premium, right? You pay them premium. So that's exactly how options work, right? So it's an agreement to buy or sell shares at a particular price, right? And it's very, very interesting because right now, like, during a crisis, Desmond, during a crisis, do insurance premiums increase or do they decrease?
Insurance premium, they probably increase.
Yeah, exactly. Because the risk is, the risk associated is higher, right? So,
Yeah.
so right now, in terms of premiums wise, it's a very, very, very premium rich environment. And that's the reason why option sellers thrive a lot in this market, right? Where you can actually sell options to collect premiums. Again, a little bit complex, but that's the essence of it, right? You can essentially be an insurance company in the stock market and be collecting checks every single week, every single month. Very powerful stuff.
Okay, so options is one way that people can explore. What about a traditional way of trading stock market, like buying into companies like, let's say, Starbucks? Starbucks share has been down. I think it's a company that's going to bounce back. What about airlines? What about hotels? Like Marriott, their share has gone down a lot since the MCO and since the lockdown, the CB, whatever it is. What's your thought about those companies?
Okay, so my thoughts are very simple, right? I'm looking at businesses. Yeah, I'm looking at businesses which really, really will survive no matter what, right? It will survive no matter what. So let me give you an example, right? So a brilliant example out of everything that you shared is Starbucks. Another brilliant example I can actually share would be a company like McDonald's, for example, right? Can I ask you, dude, like, after everything, after all this nonsense carries on, do you think McDonald's will still be around?
Of course.
It's without a shadow of doubt, right? Like, will
Mm-hmm.
Starbucks still around? 100%. I would much rather invest in a brand that is equitable. So again, like McDonald's in this crisis, again, the market has bounced up a little bit. We don't know whether it'll drop again. I foresee that it probably will. But McDonald's share price, you could actually promise to buy it at a 50% discount from its highs. Imagine that. Imagine if you can get McDonald's at a 50% discount. Like, dude, imagine you can go and buy a cheeseburger which is available 10 ringgit for 5 ringgit. Right?
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. Right? So, dude, like, why not? Right? So, like, McDonald's, I can sleep easy. The reason why their share price got affected was because, in America and around the world, some McDonald's branches have got closed down and stuff. So, their revenue is going to drop this year. But hey, after this thing is over, eventually it will be, then hey, McDonald's will go back up again because people continue eating McDonald's. Right?
If you look at the charts for recession, if you look at the charts for depression or any economic crisis in the past, it always goes down, but it always bounces back even stronger,
yes,
right? So it's a matter of how long you can hold, and more importantly, like aiming for big companies, sustainable companies that have been around, and more importantly, have very good balance sheet, and more importantly, it's a good brand. Like, as you say, McDonald's is a fantastic example. But let's talk about something a little bit risky, because we know that companies like Delta, United Airlines, two massive airlines in the US, even airlines around the world, they are being grounded. So what about airline stocks?
Okay. So with regards to airline stocks, a little bit risky. Okay, of course, a little bit risky. But you must understand something. Airline stocks, unlike other forms of transport or whatever, is essential, right? It's essential. Meaning to say, like, dude, in the end of the day, you and me, once the entire thing is over, we still need to fly, and airlines needs to be there to help us to fly, right? That's something that we must understand. So with regards to at least the like national carriers, with regards to like United Airlines, for example, hey, obviously they're being affected a lot, but do I see them going bankrupt? It's highly, highly, highly unlikely. And the very, very simple reason why is it's essential. Right? It's essential. Like, we can't, like, right now, how do we actually, like, we can't conduct business if around the world, international, if there's no aeroplanes. And hey, some airlines has to be there, right? So if you're looking at airlines, then maybe if you're looking at the budget ones and all that, then maybe these ones will actually cave and die, right? We're talking about like national carriers like United, for example, then that'll be great. But of course, with regards to my portfolio, I don't have a lot of airlines in my portfolio, simply because they don't have a competitive advantage over each other, right? So it's not a business
Right.
that is really a compounder, hey, right now it has got depressed, the prices got depressed so much. I really truly believe that there will be a, it's like a spring, right? The spring has got, sprung, and eventually you
Mm-hmm.
will spring back again. So, hey, that's basically what's up with the airlines.
So this is an interesting question that I think I want to ask you, because I get a couple of people asking me this question, which I thought was really interesting. Let's just say that you got started with stock trading in the financial market in early this year, January 2020, right? Yeah, your main goal is that you want to put some investment and money into the stock market. Let's say you are working a job and you have about 5,000 Sing dollar, right, to put into the stock market, or US dollar you want to put in the US market. How would you build your portfolio with $5,000 right now?
Okay. So with $5,000, right, with 5 grand, you want to be looking to grow, right? So with 5 grand, truth be told, it's not a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a decent amount of money which you can use to actually grow, but it's not something that will make you financially free, right? That's for sure. Right. So your goal would definitely be growth, right? Wouldn't be capital preservation, because capital preservation you're talking about 6 figures, 7 figures and above, right? So $5,000, your growth is to your goal is to grow, and very simply you would adopt a slightly more aggressive approach. Okay? Because if you're gonna be very very conservative, then dude, like nothing's gonna happen, lah. Right. So again, I always look at capital sizes, and then I allocate what is suitable for that portfolio size, right? So 5,000, you have to be a little bit more aggressive. If not, don't waste your time, right? Go and learn from you, learn Facebook ads better, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, right? So what I want to say is, so with 5,000, perhaps they can actually allocate the majority of it, maybe at least about 60%, 70% of it towards options, right? Why? Because options wise, if done correctly, if you know how to do it correct, it gives you good leverage returns as well, right? Again, very, very important. You have to use it correctly. A lot of people use it in the wrong way, which is the reason why you need to educate yourself how to use it properly. But it gives you, let me explain to you, right? So with stocks, for example, if a stock goes up like 50%, if you actually do have a call option on it, it wouldn't be 50%. It will be like 3x the effect, right? So it'll be like 150% return. So you get that leverage return with a lot less capital, right? So options allows you to use less capital to get a higher leverage return. So that's ideal with a smaller portfolio to really, really help you boost and grow your portfolio, right? So that's what I recommend, and maybe a small portion of it to just go and buy solid businesses, right? So that's how I would actually structure it. So about 3,000-ish, $3,500 towards options, whether it's selling or buying of options, and the remaining to actually go and buy some, maybe 2 or 3 companies.
Okay, so this is interesting. Now that's the 5,000 level, but I also got a few friends. They have about, like, let's just say 50,000 to 150. Let's just say 100,000, just to make it simple. $100,000. They have it allocated for investment this year. How would you approach if you are given 100,000? How would you build your portfolio now?
Okay, so dude, easy question, bro, because that's what we're doing right now for so many of our clients. So again, 100 grand. Okay, so we have 100 grand, but then again, I have questions to actually ask, right? So whoever the person is, I need to ask the person, hey, is the 100,000 disposable, or is 100,000 like a life savings? Like, hey, what's up, right? Because obviously 100,000 to some people is a lot of money. Maybe to you, bro, it's like, dude, whatever lah, chump change, right? So it depends. It depends. Okay, so that's number one. So let's say, for example, if the person is, that's hard-earned money, it's a significant amount of money. Obviously, they want to lose it. Then what I'll recommend is very, very simply to actually segregate into 50-50, meaning to say 50,000 to actually use in stocks, right? And just buy, like right now, at these crazy discounts, to actually just go and buy good businesses and let it just grow, right? And the other 50,000 to actually use towards options to get accelerated returns, right? Because, with stocks wise, if you just buy stocks, you can buy and hold, you make money on the upside, you don't get any protection on the downside, right? Whereas with options, slightly more flexible, you can make money whether it's up, downward, sideways, for example. That's very, very flexible as well. So that's what I would recommend to do, right? So even for me, with my portfolio size, I always make sure I have a stocks and options portfolio. Stocks, which I actually use to buy stocks. Like, let me give you an example. 10 years ago, I bought Google. I bought Google shares. And the reason why was because after I learned, I asked myself, what's the one company I know will be around in 10 years' time and will really grow? My one immediate answer was Google, because it's a no-brainer. Everybody uses Google every single day. It's right now, I'm using Google as well, Google Chrome and whatever. So every day, no matter COVID, whatever, I don't give a shit, using Google, one way or another. Right? So I bought Google, and very simply over the years, sometimes Google shares come down a bit because of whatever scandal and stuff. I just add more shares because I know that whatever happens, people don't have a choice. We have to use Google every day, right? Either one of the services. So this is a company which I'm holding. recently the price dropped, I just bought more shares. It's a complete no-brainer for me. This is something which I'm keeping for the next 50 years, right? I'm thinking along those lines, right? I want to keep it. I want to give my Google shares to my kids, right? I tell my kids that, hey, Daddy bought these Google shares like 50 years ago, and here you go, right? Right now it's 10 times the amount. So, dude, that's how I build my portfolio. So that's for your long-term holdings with good companies. And the other one, with regards to options, gives you a slightly more accelerated returns in the short run as well. But of course, it can be. You need to be able to manage it a little bit better. All right.
I think the main difference is that for the options part, it seems like it's a lot more short term. It's about growth. And it's not about really keeping it for the long term. It's about making money right now so that you can put more money into your long-term stock. Am I saying it right?
100%. And of course, with regards to your friend, for example, the question to actually ask is, hey, are you going to be very active or are you going to be very, very passive, right? Because with options wise, it requires you to be a little bit more active, right? You don't have to be looking at it every day or whatever, but you do have to keep abreast of what's actually happening. So, every person has a different risk profile. Every person has a different risk profile. Every person has a different amount of time they can actually allocate. So it depends on all of the factors, man.
Yeah, it seems like it's very psychological in a way that, I mean, if you read the news about one of the stock that you bought, something happened, there's a scandal, you're going to be a little bit more afraid, isn't it? Yeah. So I think the amazing, let's talk, because you're really talking a lot about doing options now, investing in the options, perhaps trading it. So I want to go a little bit deeper in that because not a lot of people understand options. I mean, it's not one of those things that are being talked about a lot. In fact, for most average, like normal people, what they talk about is just buying stock and then selling stock. That's how they think about making money. Options is completely different. It's obviously an agreement based on the pricing that you agree with. So let's talk about how anyone can get started with option trading.
Okay, how anybody can get started option trading actually? Yeah. Okay. Dude, I have free resources, man. I have free resources. I have a free group and stuff like that, which they can actually join. There's this group called Get Cash with Rash, right? They join it, there's free resources there, which they can actually use. I have it all available. So, hey, get on there and go and learn.
Get Cash with Rash. That kind of rhymes.
It rhymes.
It makes a rap song, you know that,
right? All right, Get Cash with Resh. So again, anyways, if you want to join the group, feel free to join the group, Get Cash with Resh. There's all the resources in there, which will actually avail you to, how to actually start trading options, all that good stuff. So I'm on there. I do calls almost every night for my followers to actually follow along on Zoom, right, where I play trades live. So I talk them through the entire process as well. So, the people really get a benefit, man, seriously get a benefit. So, hey, come along together with me. If you're on lockdown, why not learn to trade the market, learn to make some money, and look at some good opportunities.
How much money do you need to get started with options?
About $3,000, $3,000, $5,000 is sufficient.
Okay, and I know that you have a lot of students that have been able to grow their numbers.
Yep.
You want to talk a little bit about, from their perspective, maybe their case studies of your students, share a little bit about their wins.
Yeah, dude, it's been absolutely nuts, right? It's been absolutely crazy. And the reason why is because of what's happening right now. Let me share with you something. The results that some of my students are achieving right now is not typical. Okay, it's not typical. And the reason why it's not typical is because this doesn't happen in normal situations, all right? From a trader's perspective, we've not seen this kind of movements in the last 15 years. Right, so the results people are seeing right now, it's nuts, it's crazy, right? Like, when the prices rebound, they rebound 50%, 60%. You don't see that in a normal year, right? So, like, some of the results people are actually seeing through options and through everything, it is nuts. Literally, I look at my computer, I see what is available, and my jaw drops. My jaw freaking drops. It's because, fuck, man. Sorry, bro. Like, right now it's
unreal. That's the word, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, dude. It's unreal, Like, literally, dude, I'm not even kidding, right? In the group, one guy just posted, Jonathan Huang, this guy called Jonathan Huang, he just posted about, he's invested in this cruise line, right? This cruise line, which is, again, cruises were affected a lot, right? So the movement, the volatility in there is crazy, right? So he actually did a short-term trade, which was literally like a one day kind of trade, right? He did like a one-day trade and he actually achieved a 500% return in that one day through this one strategy that I teach. It's insane. Wow. It's nuts, dude. Like, but again, please, guys, for whoever's listening to this is not normal. It's only available right now. If you want to learn, right now is the best time to learn. I'm not even joking, man. So yeah, like, best time to learn, get on board, start doing it. And hey, use a sum of money. If you're brand new, use some money which you can afford to put aside, right? You can afford to put aside, right? Because, you can never, ever, ever, ever lose more than what you actually put in, right? If you follow the right rules. So just use that, and start learning how to grow the money, right? Because right now, I'm telling you, your learning curve will increase so much, will increase so exponentially, it's insane. So right now, best time to learn, best time to get into action, man.
Plus, even since the stocks are a lot cheaper than usual, even when you're investing in, and even if you made a mistake, the losses are a lot more minimal than during the good times. So if you think about it, this is really the best time for you, not only to experiment, but actually to see if this is for you, right?
Yeah.
And there's just so many opportunities. And what I really like is that I'm one of those people that like to buy, as the Google stock that you were talking about. I'm one of those people that are more passive. I'll buy something and I will totally forget about it for like 2-3 years, and then I'll look back, oh shit, I have like this stock and that stock. So that's what I really like, which is why I want to go a little bit deeper on that question as well, which is the fact that if you're one of those people that are passive, you don't want to look at your stock every single day. You just want to buy and forget about it for the next 2-3 years, right? What are the stocks that you think that people should look into, or what are the industry that you think people should look into? Obviously, we talk about airlines, right? It's going to be an essential service after all of this is over. What are other things that you're looking at?
I got to share this, man. I got to share this, right? So one industry, let me just share with you. One industry which has got affected very badly, but is growing exponentially because of this, is digital payments, right? Let me explain. Right now, people are stuck at home. When they're stuck at home, people are not spending money, right? The reason why the crisis right now is unlike anything ever is because, last time they print money, they put money back in the economy, people start spending money, that's great. Right now, you put money in our hands, but people are still not spending because they're stuck at home, right? So because people are not spending, MasterCard, Visa, there's not so many transactions. Like, dude, like you haven't traveled. Like, I know you fly around the world every other week.
Yeah.
How long have you been stuck at home, bro?
Yeah, so you can't really fly at home. Yeah.
You can't fly home. Shit. Right? So, you're not flying. How much have you saved? Roughly.
A lot of minimum just within a month, probably a couple of thousand just from flights alone.
Just from flights alone. Probably for you, probably tens of thousands, man. Like, it's nuts, right?
Yeah, if you add on the hotels and everything, yeah, for sure.
For sure, man. Tens of thousands of dollars. But hey, you're not spending there, right? You're not swiping your card, right? Right now, like, what card I want to swipe, bro? I'm stuck at home, right? Because of that, transaction volumes, have been going down, and these companies have been affected, right? They've come down. However, my friend, dude, you want to listen to this, bro. You want to listen to this. I just read this letter from PayPal CEO. And PayPal CEO wrote a letter, and his letter stated that, hey, right now, businesses have no choice but to actually transition towards digital forms of payments. They have no choice but to actually do that, right? Through their businesses and everything, it has to be digital, it has to be online. And people, they are being forced into embracing digital payments, right? And PayPal is one of the most trusted sources. And they are basically saying that, hey, like for PayPal, for example, their business and their call centers are through the roof. And the reason why is because now all these payments are coming through PayPal. Dude, let me just share with you something. Can I share with you an actual stat, dude? Right?
Yeah.
This last month, bro, so I started experimenting with some stuff. Like this last month, I actually made close to, through my different programs, through all my different businesses and stuff like that, I actually made about 220 grand Singapore dollars in the last 1 month. Bro, PayPal is on my back, bro. Like everything is going through PayPal, but now my account is frozen, right? But everything, I have never really used PayPal to that extent. But right now, everything is being transacted digitally. So, hey, I am seeing it, right? Like I have to embrace digital payments as well. Last time, I used to collect whatever, but right now people are paying from all over the world. It has to be through digital payments. So right now, let me share with you what's happening. These stocks are actually dropping, but I want you to understand something, man. The way business is conducted will forever change. And it will forever change because of what's happening right now.
I totally agree. I want to chime in here because, in Malaysia, we have a lot of those wet markets where usually these are, the people that sell vegetables and fresh fish, these are usually run by a lot of our older generation. And these are the people, a lot of people will label them as uneducated, people that will never think about having a website, people will never think about selling on social media, people that will never think about maybe even accepting payments online. Now I'm seeing them on social media selling the fishes, fresh fish, delivery to your home, fresh vegetables, delivery to your home, and they're accepting payments through Stripe. and I bet you these people never even thought about actually accepting payments online in their lifetime because they've always dealt with, handing cash, the usual, the traditional way. And as you say, business is going to change forever. I absolutely agree on this. And the business that cannot adapt, that will be forever over. So yeah, that's digital payment. That's great. Any other industry that you're looking at?
Dude, like if you ask me, that is one which I really see opportunity, man. Dude, if you're asking me like, Resh, where has the majority of the money gone to? That is where it's at, right? There's a lot of opportunities out there, like, when everything is on sale, but when everything is on sale as an investor, you need to focus, right? You can't be putting your money and spraying everywhere, right? So where do I see opportunity? Where can I, like, as a business owner, like we're both business owners, right? The business owner, where do you see the opportunity? And dude, my friend, I see the opportunity there, right? If you ask me one, that's basically where I see that.
So you're talking about going and niching down to one industry and become an expert within that industry. Like, for example, digital payments, you really do all the research on digital payments. That's the only thing that you do. You don't look at airlines. You don't look at anything else. Just purely focus on one.
No, I'm not saying that. So I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that, in terms of like where I'm really, really putting my money at, it's in these companies, right? Like, like for real, dude, like Visa currently right now is available at a 40% discount. Bro, dude, Visa is not going to go anywhere, right?
It's one of the biggest brands in the world. Everybody knows Visa.
It's not going to go anywhere, right? It's not going to go anywhere. It's here to stay. It will be around in 5 years, 10 years. It's not going to go anywhere, right? If it's available 40% discount, bro, you have minimally at least 40% to gain, You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about in the next, when the rebound comes, it'll probably come in the next, 6 months to 7 months, for example. If you can do that and you can put it in something which you don't need to lose sleep over. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, you can look at hotels and all that, but like, if you ask me, Rash, would you be keen to invest in like Marriott? Like, sure, it's a known brand, but who knows how long these lockdowns will,
So it will take a lot longer to rebound, stocks like Marriott. But Visa, people are still using it online to buy stuff, right? People are still using their credit cards, so that's not gonna change too much.
Yeah, now the only thing Marriott is a COVID hospital, bro. That's what they're doing with Marriott.
Yeah. Okay, so amazing. One big question that I see being discussed a lot on investor websites, CNBC, I see that a lot in Bloomberg. So one question that I will ask you is, first of all, I know you don't have a crystal ball, so I know that you cannot look into the future, but do you think the market can bottom even further?
Okay, so this is my personal opinion. My personal opinion is I do believe so, and that really, it does really depend on whether like reinfections and a second wave comes. I believe if a second wave comes, then we'll see a downside like we've never seen before. And the reason why is because many economies around the world they've already shot their bazookas in terms of the money, right? Like in Singapore, our this fund, every Singaporean received money yesterday. Like the fund that the government put out was 17 or 19% of our GDP. Like, they never ever shoved that kind of money. In the US, they printed nearly $4 trillion. It's nuts, right? So, they've already thrown everything to try to save the economy. Like, it's all in already, Like, you're at a point where it's all in. And suddenly, if it comes again, right? If a second wave happens and a vaccine doesn't come, for example, then shit, we will see downside we've never seen before. So, yeah, so that's something to take note of. Right. However, I truly believe in the faith of humanity. I believe in humanity. I believe that humans we find ways to thrive, especially when we are pushed back. Right. I believe in the human race. So I do believe I do believe in human race and that we will find a vaccine. And if that is properly announced and that actually does work, then you'll see the market rebound like you've never seen before. So it depends on these two factors. Again, we don't know, but you want to be best prepared. And that's the reason why. Desmond, options is very, very powerful because at any given one point, my portfolio is hedged, whether it's going to go down or it's hedged when it's going up. Right. So, it's very, very important. So I don't just use a simple buy and hold philosophy, right? Like, because if I just do buy and hold, suddenly something when this happens, you're fucked. right? But if you know how to hedge your portfolio, if you know how to utilize options to make sure that you are insured in case anything drops, then you're fine, right? So like right now, hit me, man. Anything happen, tomorrow market drops or whatever, it's okay. My portfolio will be balanced out, right? So I maintain a good balance in portfolio, so it's all good, man.
So I now that you mentioned this, I want to like throw a curveball to you. I kind of want to like challenge you a little bit because I know you follow Robert Kiyosaki, and I'm a big fan of Robert Kiyosaki. And one of the things that he's been saying over the last, I think, couple of years is to get away from the financial market and buy things like gold, buy things like real estate. Like, what's your thought about that? I'm just curious.
So yeah, dude, I've heard a lot about Robert Kiyosaki and his views and stuff like that. So he's been saying like, hey, you guys, I've been telling you, I've been telling you. So one thing, agree again, I agree, right? Like, who knows? The dollar might go completely bust, right? That's what he's predicting. The dollar might go bust, but you must understand the repercussions, right? Like if the dollar goes bust, for example, the entire world will be screwed, right?
Yes.
Like the forces behind whatever cannot allow that to happen. You must understand that one thing, right? Like it's not. I wouldn't say it's not possible, but the IMF, whoever is involved, the federal government or Federal Reserve, they cannot allow that to actually happen because that will lead to a global meltdown, right? So like even Robert Kiyosaki, the reason why he puts it there is just as a hedge, right? He still has to use his cash to go and buy stuff. You can't use your gold bar to go and buy, a house. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't, I save my money in gold. You can't use a gold bar and go and buy bread, right? Like, it's a complete idiot. Right? You can't do that. Like, you have to have cash, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, the cash is basically used for everyday stuff. So, that will still be around. I still do believe that. And ultimately, when you're investing in stocks, he's not a believer in paper assets, but, you can look at it as stocks, or you can look at it as businesses, right? You're investing into actual business. So the question to actually ask is, hey, will that business be still around, right? Like, in Malaysia, you have your biscuits, your hap sing, for example. MCO,
Yep.
people are still eating the hap sing. The business is still around. The business is still thriving. People still need the essential stuff. So, if they're around, their stocks will be alive and well and growing.
Yeah. So really, this is what I'm telling people as well. And no matter what people tell you, I mean, I feel like sometimes people have agenda for telling people that, avoid this, do this. So you need to think, you need to say, hey, what am I really investing in? If you're afraid of risk, my suggestion is always go put money into really huge company that is around. Like you say McDonald's is a prime example, right? It's not going to go anywhere. I mean, people are indoctrinated with the idea of McDonald's already. It's not going to go anywhere. So you're scared of risk, but you still want to play the stock market, but you're not sure. I think going with huge companies, passive investing is going to be the best move forward for most people here. Now, Rash, I know you have a group called Get Cash with Rash. How do my audience or the people that are listening to this, they want to connect with you, they want to talk to you, or maybe they want to join the group or maybe get one of your courses? How can they get in contact with you?
Okay, so very, very simply, there's one way which is absolutely amazing. I'm very, very, very active on that. And I actually have a free open Telegram group. And the Telegram group, very simply, is called Get Cash with Resh. All right. So if you go on Telegram, download Telegram, search for Get Cash with Resh, you will find the group and you'll see me there. I look pretty handsome and stuff. Right. So right, so it's just Get Space Cash with Resh. So have a look at that. And yeah, dude. So same thing on Facebook. I have a Facebook group as well. Right. So if you just request to join, I'll accept you. And hey, it'll be amazing because I post my live trades on there. I post exactly what stocks I'm actually trading, what exactly I'm doing, and you can tune in my live Zoom. All that you can actually access for free as well. So I just hope to add value, and hopefully in this tough period, hopefully I can add some joy, some entertainment, and some good ideas for you.
Awesome, Resh. Thank you so much for being on here. I learned a lot, and I think my audience are going to be learning a lot too. So for those of you who guys want to check out Resh stuff, I know his stuff is great. He's got, I keep seeing on Facebook, he keep posting all his success stories, his students and people that follow his strategies just keep making money here and there. It's insane. Like, everyone else, they're losing money, they're not making money, but Resh's side, they are just like keep pumping money out like a oil rig pumping oil up. It's insane. But anyway, if you guys want to follow Rash, definitely go check out his Facebook group and Telegram, Get Cash with Rash. Thank you so much, Rash. It's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you, man.